give the fans their this fight. This is going to be a fight to the finish. This is a once and for all. This is Bernard's, Hopkins, goodbye to South Jersey and Philadelphia. Chad Dawson is the best 175-pounder in the world. I've always believed it. I've always believed that he's been underappreciated because of the style, because he makes his boxing look effortless, and because of that, he doesn't get the accolades or the appreciation from the fans that he should. I want to present to you the man that I know is the best 175-pounder in the world, the man that will walk out on April 28th victorious, once and for all, Bad Chad Dawson.
A couple of things. I'm not going to be a bit long, but I want to thank HBO, Ken Hirschman, everybody who allowed me for the fight to happen again. A lot of fans were disappointed after the last fight. I just want to make one thing clear. On that night, I came to fight. I came to fight. I wanted to fight Bernard Hopkins, and I was looking forward to dethrone him that night. But when he pulled the stunt he pulled, which was a stunt to me because it was a stunt, it messed up all of my plans. So now I'm back here. I gotta fight him again. I gotta go through the same things I went through before. When, in all actuality, after that night, I should have been the champion. I don't know how he feels about it. I don't know how you Bernard Hopkins fans feel about it. You guys are still running around saying this guy's a legend, but legends don't act the way this guy acts. They don't do the things he does. I would have fought Bernard Hopkins with one finger that night. One finger is probably still would have won. But I'm not gonna go and crying about that stuff. But this fight, I just want a fair fight. I want Bernard to come out and fight. I don't want no low blows, no headbutts, no. Let's just be two men, like the men we are, and let's fight. That's all I want, Bernard. That's all I want. I just want to fight. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Make a few comments before I'm going to introduce Team Hopkins. Gary Shaw said that Chad Dawson was angry, frustrated, and disturbed. And he's never seen him like that. But that's no reason to go and lift your opponent off your feet and slam him to the ground just because you're angry, frustrated, and disturbed. There really is no place in boxing, and I agree with you, Chad, this should be a boxing fight and not a wrestling match. And I do hope that you leave your wrestling tactics at home and come to fight, and that you're not going to be angry, frustrated, and disturbed, because I do know that the Athletic Commission here in Atlantic City is not going to tolerate that kind of behavior. The other thing is, WBC or any other sanctioning organization, they don't make fights. They certainly don't make fights at that level.
Assalamu alaikum. I'd like to thank everybody that made this fight happen. Richard, everybody at HBO, and Mr. Shaw and his team. Like I said, I've known Chad since he was a young athlete, since he was a young kid, and he's a very talented athlete. But the challenge is now, as we deal with the history of this month, and we talk about throwbacks and like you said, legends. I key on certain things. Like when the young man was speaking earlier, he said, I gotta fight this man again. He didn't say, I get to fight this man again. One says one thing to me, the other one says something else to me. And I key on small things like that when I watch athletes. This athlete sitting to my right is cut from a cloth that I'm sure you guys remember. We've been in the losses here of late, and we've seen the history. When we've lost the Goody Petronellis, we've lost the Angelo Dundees, we've lost the Joe Fraziers. These guys are what we call old school. This is what we call legacy and history. This guy's cut from that crew. And like I said, he's cut from one of those old school guys, like the great Bowie Fish out of Philadelphia. This is our history. Butch Lewis and all these guys that we lost, Bernard Hopkins is cut from that cloth. So I challenge the reporters and everybody to remember history and know the history of this sport. Reporters, there's nothing can be said about this man we haven't said. So even as a reporter, you're going to be challenged on this particular album. Because now you have to find something to write about this man in the magnitude that befits him. And like I said, you've already written so much about Bernard Hopkins. Where do I go now? You know what I mean? So your creativity is going to have to come out. Mr. Smith and all you guys have been around and been writing about this man for years. You know what I mean? Because he is a legend. He has proven his legacy time and time again. When I look at Chad Dawson, I see a young man who has a future in front of him. But I've also seen a man like Bernard Hopkins do damage to young fighters as far as their future went. You know, all of this sounds great. When you go to the film, you see, I argued with Bernard after the fight. They took me to the film. I said, Bernard, he didn't hook your leg. You know what I mean? And then his massage guy said, no, look, and he showed me the film because I couldn't believe it. I was like, he literally hooks your leg in MMA. This is boxing. Okay, we can say what we want. We saw the film. You know what I mean? You can say what you want. This is rap. This is rap. We're talking. I gave him this opportunity to talk. I'm talking now. So I was courteous to him. I begged him to be courteous to me. But like I say, we show our raised. My thing is, go to the film. You'll see what I'm talking about. But you won't have to, because in the second fight, Bernard Hopkins will be the legend that you've come to know, that you've come to understand. You know what I mean? And this young man, you'll see them guys hug in the ring and shake hands and nod heads and talk about good fight and all that after the fight. You'll see it at the end of the fight, because we've seen it time and time again. So all I ask you to do is I challenge the supporters of Dawson, and I challenge the Bernard Hopkins supporters that we should fill that arena up. We got 2 guys from the East Coast, and they on the East Coast home now. We should fill that arena up. So I thank you guys for your time and your patience.
Thank you, Nassim. You know, it always is really an honor and a pleasure for me to introduce this legend. And I'm not going to go through all of that again, the legend and so on. We've heard all of that. But what I do want you to tell your readers or listeners or the people who are going to be watching at home, you have an opportunity on April the 28th at the Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City to see one of undisputably, you know, those 2 sides, they might not agree on much, but I say they all agree. That's one of the best fighters ever to lace up the gloves. And you're going to have an opportunity to see him for as little as $25. So I urge you, bring your families, bring your kids, bring people to Atlantic City to go and be part, to witness live Bernard the Executioner Hopkins. Please welcome Bernard the Executioner Hopkins.
All said.
Come on, that's my Bernard. Come on.
That's what we like.
Come on.
Short and sweet. Okay, I guess we are going to make the fighters available for one-on-ones now. We're going to post them as well. And I can't wait to see you all in Atlantic City. Thank you.
Everybody stay right over there. Just give us the time to set up, okay? Where's my plan, Hollywood guys?